Welcome back to another section of technical mathematics that we are going to embark upon so that we address all misconception that our learners, candidates and students may have as far as finance growth and decay is concerned. Then the paper that we have in front of ourselves right now, it is the paper from the province of Eastern Cape, and this paper was written during November examination of 2023 by the learners that were doing grade 11 in that particular year. Then without wasting any of the time, let us get straight to indulging all the questions that we have from this particular paper. We start with 8.1. In 8.1, we are required to calculate the 7.8% of 2,567. Meaning that the question, it requires us to find in rands the 7.8% of this money that we have here. Then how do we go about determining the 7.8% of this amount? We start with that particular amount. Then the amount that we are required to find is the 7.8% of, it is an amount that is equivalent to an amount of 2,567. Then this amount, we are going to multiply it with what we are required to find. Then in this case, we are going to multiply it with 7.8. But we can't just multiply it with the 7.8. Remember now, we need to divide this percentage. We know percentage is always over 100%. Then we are going to divide 7.8 by 100%. Then, by doing so, this is the right step that we needed to follow. You can't just multiply by 7.8. Remember, this is 7.8%. Now, we must convert it to numbers. Then we are going to divide it by 100%. Then, when we divide it by 100%, that will be the correct step to go about. Then, let us use our calculator. 2,567 multiply by 7.8 divided by 100%. This is going to give us an amount in rands equivalent to 200 rands, comma 23 cents. That is 7.8% of 2,567. Then mark allocation in this regard, it will be 1 mark, therefore only answer. That was the easy question that you can get under finance growth and decay. 1 mark given for Mahala there. Then we still proceed with other questions. 8.2. In 8.2, now we are required to determine the effective annual interest rate. We are required to determine the I effective. We are required to determine the effective annual interest rate of 7.8% compounded monthly. Remember, in this regard, the question requires us to find this part, the I effective. Then if you go to the formula now in the formula sheet, to determine the I effective, the formula says I effective, which is the effective interest rate, that is equal to, in bracket, 1 plus I divide by M, close bracket, all to power of M, minus what? Minus 1. Then the I that we see here inside this bracket, it is I nominal. Remember, the objective is to find this part. It means this part is not given. It's the part that we are looking for. Then here we can't substitute anything there. Then the percentage that is given here in 8.2, it represents the nominal. This I that you see here, it represents the nominal interest rate in percentage. Then the M that you see here, the M and the M that you see here, it represents the compounding period. That's why here we have the word compounded monthly. This part, it represents the compounding period. Then now from here we are going to substitute into this correct formula to say in bracket 1 plus. Remember, since while we have a m, which is the compounding period, this 7,8 we first have to divide it by 100%. Then we use the calculator to say 7,8% divided by 100%, which is equivalent to, where we see I, substitute 0,078. Then divide by m, which is the compounding period, monthly, months. Therefore, how many months do we have in 1 year? The months that are there in 1 year, there are 12 months in 1 year. Then we are going to divide by 12. Then the same m is the same compounding period, all to power of what? Of 12 minus what? Minus 1. Therefore, I effective it will be equal to, then let us substitute that into the calculator. 1 plus 0,078 divided by 12 all to power of 12 minus 1. This gives us I effective as a number, which is 0,081. Then we must multiply this by 100% because I effective, it must be in percentage. Then to get that in percentage, we are going to multiply it by 100%. This is going to give us I effective in percentage, then multiply by 100%, which give us 8,1% per annum. That is the I effective in percentage form. Mark allocation there, 3 marks there. How do we award mark? 1 mark for choosing the right formula in the formula sheet, 1 mark for correct substitution into the correct formula, and 1 mark for the I effective in percentage, which is 8,1%. Then remember, under finance, growth, and decay, particularly for those learners who are doing technical mathematics, if you choose the wrong formula, then here we are going to write what is called BD. What is BD? It means it is a breakdown. Then we are going to give you a 0 here. Breakdown, BD for breakdown, because you have chosen the wrong formula. Wrong formula, it is the breakdown, 0 mark there. Therefore, you must be careful as to choosing the correct formula, because wrong formula means 0 mark. I believe the misconception now are addressed as we are indulging as many questions as possible. Now we are proceeding to look at 8.3. In 8.3 it says the value of a farm machinery bought at the beginning of the year 2017 depreciated over the 6 years at the rate of 7.2% per annum compounded quarterly on a reducing balance method to an amount of 800,000 rands. Now let me unpack that. 1, because of the word compounded and because of the word reducing balance, it means for us to answer this question, we must use the compound interest formula, but with the negative. Why with the negative? Is because we are dealing with what? We are dealing with the depreciation. We are going to use the compound interest formula, but with the negative, because this machinery is going to what? Lose value. That's why the word depreciated. Then what is the compounding period? A compounding formula, it says A, that is equal to P in bracket 1. Remember here it must be A plus if we are using the compound interest formula for borrowing and investing. In this case, we are dealing with depreciation. After 1 we put what? Minus I all to power of what? Of n. This is the depreciated formula for reducing balance method. Now, let me unpack all the letters that we have here, or variables. P, the P that we see here, it is the cost of an item before it depreciates, meaning that is the cost of an item when you go and buy that particular item. For instance, you go to a particular store to buy a calculator, and when you get there, they say the calculator cost an amount of 450. That 450 is an amount that you need in order to buy that particular calculator. Therefore, the 450 it is represented by the P value. The I, it is not the interest rate, but the I is the rate at which that particular item depreciates at in percentage. Then N, how many years is it going to take for that particular item to depreciate? Then A, it is the depreciated value of an item. We want to know, after using that particular item, what is its depreciated value. I hope that makes sense. Then it says here, it depreciated to this particular amount. Therefore, this, it becomes the depreciated value after what? Usage. Therefore, this 800,000 rand, it is the A because of the word depreciated. It is the depreciated amount. Therefore, depreciated amount, it is represented by A. Then what is the question? The question says, determine the initial cost when it was what? New. Now, that is the keyword. When it was new, what cost was this machinery bought at? What amount was this machinery bought at? That's why it says the initial cost. In this case, we are looking for the P value, the cost of an item before it depreciates. Then the A value, it is the depreciated amount. In this case, our depreciated amount from that particular question, it results to an amount of 800,000 rands. Then the cost of the machinery when it was new, I don't know. How much did it cost at the beginning? Then in bracket 1 minus. Then we come here. It says compounded quarterly. Because we have the compounding period, the rate of depreciation, which is 7,2, we first have to divide it by 100. Please remember, student, when we have the compounding period, first divide that by 100% first, which give us 0,072. Divide by the compounding period. Please, here it's 72, not 22. It is 72 here. It is 72. Then divided by the compounding period. Our compounding period, it is quarterly. 3 months. We have 3 months in the year. Then we divide by the number of 3 months that we have in a year. Close bracket. Then it says here, it depreciated over the 6 years. Then how many quarters do we have in 6 years? Then we know that there are 4 quarters in 1 year. Then we are going to multiply it by the number of years. In this case, it is 6 years. Now from here, we go further to say we keep 800,000 on the left hand side as it is. We don't change nothing there. Then we are still looking for P. Then whatever that we have here, press that into your calculator as it is. 1 minus 0,072 divided by 4, all to power of 4 multiplied by 6, 4 to power of 6, 4 multiplied by 6. This gives us 0,072 from the calculator if we convert it to 2 decimal places. Then we are looking for P. Divide here by 0.65. This one cancelled with this one, and also divide by 800 by 0.65. Then P, the cost of this machinery when it was new, it will be equal to 800,000 rand divided by 0.65. $800,000 divided by 0.65. Please let us repeat 1 minus 0.072 divided by 4, all to power of 4 multiplied by 6, 0.65. Then 800,000 divided by 0.65. It gives us an amount that is equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 6, 99 cents. I think this is million now. This is million now. This is 1,237,126.99 cents. Hey, that is a huge amount. Let me repeat that. 1,237,126.99 cents. Then mark allocation for this particular question, 5 marks there. 1 mark for the right formula, 1 mark for the principal amount, 1 mark for substituting 800,000 where you see A, 1 mark for I, and 1 mark for this part here. Correct substitution into the correct formula. 5 marks there. That is 8.3. Then we are going to continue with 8.4 in our next video. Then this is our 8.3 until this far. Then we are going to come back to finish the entire question paper with 8.4 on the previous part, which is part 2 of our following video.